Welcome to today's deep dive. Um, what if I told you that the secret to a thriving organic kitchen garden isn't like some expensive fertilizer?
Yeah, it's actually that sticky, heavy clay you usually try to, scrape off your gardening boots.
Right. So today we're taking you into some fascinating research by Kesser and Steen. They're working with someone they call Aunt Green, and they're basically trying to fix her hopelessly sandy garden soil.
And the really cool challenge here is that Kesser and Steen are tackling it using a no-dig philosophy.
Oh, meaning no heavy machinery.
Exactly. Instead of firing up a rototiller and just forcing the soil into submission, they want to let the soil biology do the actual work.
Wait, so when you say add clay to improve soil, my mind instantly goes to adding lime or gypsum. I mean, aren't those basically the same thing?
It's a really common mix-up, mostly because of the high calcium content in them, but they operate completely differently.
Really?
Yeah, gypsum is a calcium sulfate compound. Clay, on the other hand, physically changes the actual architecture of the ground beneath your feet.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. Because if you look at sandy soil, it's mostly these large particles with huge gaps, right?
Right, cool.
So water hits it, and it's basically an empty highway where the moisture and nutrients just speed right past the roots and vanish.
Yeah, and to fix that traffic problem, you need something that fundamentally alters those gaps. Clay particles are microscopic. I mean, we're talking under 2 micrometers wide.
Wow, that is tiny.
It is, but they're flat, like tiny plates. Because of that shape, their combined surface area is just massive.
But wait, if they are that tiny and flat, wouldn't adding clay just turn that sandy highway into like a solid, suffocating brick of mud? How does that help a vegetable?
Well, that is where organic compost, or humus, becomes crucial. The clay doesn't just sit there as an inert lump.
Oh, it interacts with it.
Exactly. The sticky decomposing organic matter binds with those flat clay plates to build what are called soil crumbs.
Soil crumbs, got it.
And these crumbs act like microscopic sponges. They create the perfect structural pockets of air and water that roots actually need to survive.
Okay, so the clay and compost basically build a better physical house for the roots. But Kesser and Steen found that clay does something chemically too, right? Something about an electrical charge.
Yeah, this is the real magic. It's a scientific concept called cation exchange capacity, or CEC.
Okay.
Basically, those microscopic clay particles naturally carry a negative electrical charge.
Oh, and since we know vital plant nutrients like potassium, calcium, and magnesium have a positive charge, opposites attract.
You've got it.
So the clay is acting like millions of tiny magnets.
Exactly. The clay grabs onto those positively charged nutrients and holds them tight. Without that magnetic grip, the next rainstorm would just wash all that food right through Aunt Green's sandy soil.
But here's where it gets really interesting to me. If the clay is holding these nutrients hostage like a magnet, how do the roots actually get them back? Like a root can't just forcefully pry a molecule off a magnet.
Well, roots are actually quite clever. They participate in a biological economy. When a plant needs food, it releases positively charged hydrogen ions into the soil.
Wait, so the roots essentially use these hydrogen ions as like currency.
That's exactly it. They trade them to the clay in exchange for those stored nutrients exactly when the plant needs them.
That is wild. Which brings us to the practical advice Kesser and Steen give for your own organic kitchen garden. You don't just dump raw clay on top of your vegetable beds.
No, definitely don't do that.
They suggest taking a lump of clay, even a piece of an old unpainted clay Christmas ornament, dissolving it into rainwater to make a slurry, and pouring that over your compost pile.
Right, because by putting it in the compost pile early, you're giving those flat clay plates a head start.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, they bind with the decomposing organic material to form those vital soil crumbs before they even reach the garden. Plus, those clay magnets catch easily lost nutrients like potassium.
Stopping them from leaching out of your compost pile before you can even use it. It sounds like a cheat code for compost.
It really is. But you do have to be careful not to overdo it.
Right, too much of a good thing.
Exactly. Too much clay creates a cold, heavy, waterlogged environment that will drown your plants. Soil thrives on the careful balance of sand for drainage, clay for nutrient retention, and humus to tie it all together.
It really comes down to that perfect balance. But, we've just learned that plants are literally using hydrogen ions as currency to buy nutrients off these underground clay magnets.
Yes, amazing.
It makes you wonder if they are participating in this microscopic marketplace, how might different plants in your own garden vary in their underground purchasing power? Do some of your vegetables have deeper pockets than others? Something to mull over?